Ladies and gentlemen, friends and seekers of abundance, today I want to talk about something many of us get wrong when it comes to wealth, success, and prosperity. Many people pray for money, dream about it, and even make wishes in the hope that their lives will suddenly change. They wait for some miracle to drop wealth into their laps. But here's the truth: the universe, and yes, God Himself, doesn't reward wishes. He rewards habits. Wealth is not the result of fleeting wishes or hopeful prayers. It is the outcome of consistent habits that are practiced day in and day out. Many people believe that simply wishing for money, success, or prosperity will somehow cause it to appear in their lives. They wait for a miracle, for a sudden windfall, or for circumstances to align perfectly. But the truth is, wealth is created, not wished into existence. Just like a seed cannot grow into a tree simply because you hope it will, your financial and personal prosperity cannot manifest without deliberate and repeated action. Every habit you form is a seed that is planted in the fertile soil of your life. The habits you nurture, the actions you repeat, and the discipline you maintain are what determine whether those seeds will flourish or wither. Consistent habits serve as the invisible scaffolding upon which wealth is built. When you commit to daily actions, whether it is saving a portion of your income, investing in your knowledge, or improving your skills, you are planting the seeds of future abundance. These habits, even when small, accumulate over time and create momentum that no wish alone could generate. Wishing for money without managing what you already have, without learning, without developing discipline, is like trying to harvest a tree that was never watered or tended. God rewards diligence and faith expressed through action. It is not the grand gestures or the lofty prayers that move mountains, but the humble, consistent steps taken in faith that demonstrate reliability and commitment. Moreover, consistent habits teach you the value of patience, perseverance, and responsibility. When you repeat positive actions every day, you develop character. Character is the currency that attracts opportunity, and God honors the person who is trustworthy, disciplined, and dependable. Wishing for wealth may reflect desire, but it does not reflect the effort or integrity necessary to handle prosperity when it arrives. Habits, on the other hand, shape your behavior, strengthen your willpower, and prepare you to receive blessings. They turn potential into actual results, dreams into reality. There is also a compounding effect in habits. Saving a little money each day, learning a skill bit by bit, or improving relationships consistently may seem insignificant at first, but over months and years, these actions multiply into profound results. God rewards what is faithful in the little things because little things build the foundation for greater achievements. Every habit you maintain, no matter how small it seems today, is a seed that can grow into a tree of abundance, capable of supporting every aspect of your life. Without these habits, wishes remain empty and potential remains unrealized. In conclusion, wealth begins with consistent habits, not idle wishing. Your desires alone will not change your circumstances. Your actions will. Each habit you cultivate, no matter how small, plants a seed that God can bless and grow. The universe rewards consistency, diligence, and faithfulness, not fleeting hope. If you wish to build lasting wealth, focus on your daily habits, nurture them with patience and discipline, and trust that God will multiply your efforts. Remember, wishing is passive, but habits are active. Wealth, opportunity, and abundance follow those who act faithfully, not those who merely dream. Start today by planting the right seeds through your habits, and watch as God transforms them into a harvest of prosperity. Small, daily actions may seem insignificant at first, but they are the building blocks of lasting abundance. Too many people look for shortcuts to wealth, waiting for one big break, one lucky opportunity, or a sudden miracle that will change their lives overnight. They underestimate the power of consistency, failing to recognize that greatness and prosperity are the results of small, deliberate steps taken repeatedly over time. Just like a tiny seed requires water, sunlight, and nurturing to grow into a massive tree, wealth requires daily habits that accumulate and compound. It is in the steady, repeated effort that God sees diligence and rewards those who are faithful. Every action you take, no matter how small, is a seed that carries the potential to grow. Reading for 30 minutes a day may seem trivial, but over the course of a year, it transforms your knowledge and sharpens your skills. Saving a little money each day may seem inconsequential, but over time, it grows into a significant fund that can open doors of opportunity. Helping someone consistently, even in small ways, may seem like a minor gesture, but it builds relationships, trust, and a reputation that attracts abundance. These small actions, when compounded, have a power far greater than any single wish or prayer. God rewards this faithfulness, for He honors effort expressed consistently over time. The problem is that many people give up too soon. They plant a seed by starting a habit or pursuing a goal, but they grow impatient when results don't appear immediately. They see the tiny sprout of progress and think it is not enough. Yet, the natural world teaches us patience and persistence. A tree does not bear fruit the day it is planted. It grows slowly, absorbing nutrients, strengthening its roots, and gradually reaching toward the sunlight. The same principle applies to our lives. Your small, faithful actions today are setting the stage for a future harvest. God rewards those who persist and remain faithful, even when the results are not immediately visible. Consistency in small actions also trains your mind and character. Habits shape who you are, and who you are determines the level of abundance you attract. Someone who reads daily, learns, saves, and serves others becomes a person who is disciplined, knowledgeable, and trustworthy. Such a person naturally attracts opportunities, resources, and wealth. The compounding power of habits goes beyond finances. It transforms your entire life, including relationships, health, and spiritual growth. God sees these repeated efforts as acts of faith, and in His economy, faith expressed through small, steady actions produces significant rewards. It is important to understand that nothing in life worth having comes from a single effort or a momentary desire. Wealth, success, and fulfillment are the result of cumulative effort. Each day, each small habit, is a step toward the life God intends for you. The key is to start now, focus on consistency, and trust the process. Over time, these small actions become unstoppable momentum, creating opportunities that once seemed impossible. In conclusion, small, daily actions are the seeds that grow into lasting abundance. While wishes are fleeting, habits compound over time to produce wealth, success, and fulfillment. God rewards the faithful who act consistently, who nurture their seeds with patience and discipline, and who trust the process. Every small, positive action you take today is an investment in your future. Plant your seeds, tend them faithfully, and watch as God multiplies your efforts into a harvest of prosperity that far exceeds your wishes. God rewards faithfulness in effort, not idle desire. Too many people spend their lives wishing for blessings, wealth, and opportunities, believing that simply wanting something will bring it into existence. They pray fervently for success, for promotions, for financial breakthroughs, yet they fail to take the consistent steps necessary to receive these blessings. The truth is that God honors action, persistence, and faith expressed through daily effort. A single wish, no matter how heartfelt, does not demonstrate faithfulness. Only repeated, intentional effort shows God that you are serious about your life, your purpose, and your growth. Faithfulness is tested in the small, everyday decisions that most people overlook. It is in waking up every morning with discipline, in showing up even when you don't feel motivated, and in performing your work with excellence, integrity, and consistency. God notices these acts because they reveal your character and your willingness to be responsible with the resources, opportunities, and talents He has already entrusted to you. The Bible itself teaches that those who are faithful in little will be made ruler over much. Faithfulness is not measured by the size of your wishes, but by the diligence of your actions. When you prove yourself trustworthy in the small tasks, God can safely entrust you with greater responsibilities, opportunities, and abundance. Many people give up before they see results because they focus solely on the outcome, not the process. They pray for a promotion but fail to improve their skills. They wish for wealth but do not manage their money responsibly or invest in their knowledge. They desire recognition but do not consistently perform with excellence. God's reward comes to those who faithfully engage in the process, day after day, even when the results are not immediately visible. Faithfulness in effort creates a foundation that cannot be shaken. It develops patience, endurance, and resilience, qualities essential for sustaining long-term success. Faithfulness also demonstrates alignment with God's principles. When you act with honesty, diligence, and integrity, you are reflecting the habits and values that God honors. Effort without faith is empty, but effort combined with trust in God's guidance becomes a powerful force that attracts blessings. The faithful person does not wait for miracles to happen. They create an environment where miracles are possible through persistent action. God rewards those who take responsibility for their lives, who consistently sow seeds of diligence, and who refuse to rely solely on wishful thinking. It is important to remember that faithfulness is a habit, not a single act. Each day presents opportunities to prove your reliability, to do what is right, to invest in your growth, and to serve others faithfully. These actions accumulate, building momentum that eventually produces tangible results. God's rewards are not arbitrary, they are the natural outcome of persistent, faithful effort. By demonstrating faithfulness in your work, your relationships, and your spiritual life, you position yourself to receive greater blessings, both seen and unseen. In conclusion, God rewards faithfulness in effort, not idle desire. Wishing alone is powerless. Action backed by consistency, integrity, and trust in God is what produces results. Each small, faithful step you take is noticed by God and compounds into long-term success. Your diligence, persistence, and reliability in everyday actions create a foundation for wealth, opportunity, and spiritual abundance. Stop relying on wishes and begin living a life of faith expressed through action. Be faithful in the little things, and God will multiply your efforts into a harvest of prosperity, blessing, and fulfillment far beyond your imagination. Habits shape your identity, and your identity attracts wealth. Many people fail to understand that wishing for wealth without changing who they are is like expecting a seed to grow in barren soil. Wealth does not flow to those who merely desire it. It flows to those whose daily habits and actions align with the character of a person capable of handling prosperity. Your habits are not just routines, they are the blueprint of who you are becoming. If you act consistently in ways that reflect discipline, responsibility, and integrity, you are transforming your identity into someone worthy of abundance. On the other hand, if your habits are inconsistent, careless, or misaligned with growth, no amount of wishing will bring wealth into your life. Every habit you practice is a declaration of who you are. When you wake up each day and invest in your skills, manage your finances wisely, serve others faithfully, and cultivate discipline, You are shaping a self-image of someone capable, trustworthy, and prepared for opportunity. God rewards that person because this is the type of individual who can steward blessings responsibly. Conversely, wishing for wealth while maintaining habits of procrastination, poor decision-making, or impatience signals unpreparedness. The universe operates in alignment with character. Blessings flow to the habits that support them, not to the idle dreams of those unready to receive them. Habits are powerful because they compound over time. The person who consistently reads, learns, and applies knowledge becomes smarter, more capable, and more confident. The person who consistently saves money, invests, and manages resources becomes financially stable. The person who consistently treats others with kindness, honesty, and respect builds trust and strong relationships. Each of these habitual actions reshapes identity, moving a person closer to the type of individual who naturally attracts wealth, opportunities, and divine favor. God does not reward wishes because wishes do not create the inner transformation required for abundance. Habits, however, mold your character, preparing you for the blessings you seek. Identity and habits are inseparable. You cannot wish to become a disciplined, wise, or generous person. You become that person by repeating small, intentional actions day after day. Over time, your behavior becomes automatic, and your identity shifts. You are no longer someone hoping for wealth. You are someone who naturally embodies the qualities that attract it. Your character becomes the magnet for opportunity. Wealth follows who you are, not what you wish for, because God rewards the person who reflects the habits and values of a faithful, diligent, and prepared individual. It is also important to recognize that habits not only shape external success, but also internal peace and spiritual growth. A person who acts consistently with integrity and discipline experiences confidence, clarity, and purpose. These qualities are essential for sustaining prosperity once it arrives. Without the foundation of good habits and a strong identity, wealth can be lost, mismanaged, or fail to produce fulfillment. By focusing on identity through habits, you ensure that your growth is holistic, touching every area of your life, financial, relational, and spiritual. In conclusion, habits shape identity, and identity attracts wealth. Wishing alone cannot transform you into someone capable of managing abundance or living a prosperous life. God rewards the person whose daily habits reflect diligence, discipline, integrity, and faithfulness. Your consistent actions redefine who you are, making you a person ready to receive blessings. Focus on cultivating positive habits, nurture your identity through deliberate effort, and trust that God will reward the type of person you are becoming. Wealth, success, and fulfillment will naturally follow because God rewards habits, not wishes, and your identity is the seed from which all prosperity grows. Focus on planting seeds, not chasing quick results. Many people make the mistake of measuring success by immediate outcomes rather than the steady progress they are making through daily habits. They pray for financial breakthroughs, career advancements, or sudden miracles, yet they become discouraged when results do not appear instantly. This impatience leads them to give up, change direction too quickly, or abandon good practices before they have time to bear fruit. The truth is that prosperity, whether financial, personal, or spiritual, is not the product of one moment or one wish. It is the result of consistent effort compounded over time. Every positive action you take is a seed, and God rewards the patient cultivation of these seeds rather than the pursuit of instant gratification. Planting seeds begins with recognizing the value of small, deliberate actions. Saving a little money each week, investing in your education, or spending time learning new skills may feel insignificant at first, but these actions carry immense potential. Each act of discipline, each choice to improve yourself, is a seed that, when nurtured consistently, grows into abundance. Chasing quick results, on the other hand, often leads to risky shortcuts, poor decisions, and wasted effort. God honors patience and diligence because these qualities demonstrate faithfulness and readiness to steward what is given. The process of planting and nurturing seeds aligns your character with the principles of growth and prosperity, preparing you for the blessings to come. Patience is a central part of this process. Just as a farmer does not expect a field to yield a harvest the day seeds are sown, you cannot expect wealth or success to materialize overnight. Growth requires time, care, and consistency. Every day, you practice a positive habit, invest in your skills, or improve your financial habits. You are strengthening the roots that will eventually support the tree of prosperity. God rewards those who continue planting seeds, even when they cannot yet see the harvest. By focusing on the process rather than immediate results, you align yourself with the natural and spiritual law of compounding effort. Another critical aspect of planting seeds is intentionality. It is not enough to act consistently. Your actions must be directed toward growth and improvement. Every decision, every habit, and every effort should serve as a seed that contributes to your future abundance. Whether it is learning, saving, giving, or serving, intentional daily action ensures that your seeds are not wasted on distractions or short-term gains. God rewards those who act with purpose and faith, trusting that the small steps taken today will lead to significant results tomorrow. Planting seeds also teaches humility and perseverance. It reminds you that success is not solely about external achievement, but about cultivating character, discipline, and trust in God's timing. Habits of consistent effort shape resilience and patience, preparing you to handle prosperity wisely when it arrives. Chasing quick results often bypasses this essential growth, leaving people unprepared for the blessings they receive. By focusing on planting seeds, you build a foundation that cannot be shaken and create a life of sustainable abundance. In conclusion, focus on planting seeds rather than chasing quick results. True wealth and prosperity are cultivated through consistent, deliberate actions over time. God rewards patience, faithfulness, and intentional effort, not impulsive desires or shortcuts. Every small, positive habit you maintain is a seed that grows into long-term abundance. Trust the process, nurture your efforts, and remain steadfast in your actions. By planting seeds today, you prepare yourself to reap a harvest of prosperity, fulfillment, and blessings in alignment with God's timing. Remember, the seed that is tended with faith and diligence will always bear fruit. Righteous habits create both spiritual and financial prosperity. Many people focus solely on money, believing that wealth is purely a material goal, separate from character or spiritual development. However, God's economy is holistic. He does not bless actions that produce temporary gain but neglect moral integrity, personal growth, and faithfulness. True abundance flows to those who cultivate habits aligned with righteousness, discipline, and generosity. When your daily actions reflect these qualities, you create the conditions for wealth and blessings to enter your life in a sustainable and meaningful way. Financial prosperity without spiritual and moral grounding is often fleeting, but habits rooted in righteousness yield lasting reward. Righteous habits are demonstrated in the consistent choices you make each day. Acts such as honesty in business, integrity in your work, generosity toward others, and diligence in fulfilling responsibilities are not just morally right. They are spiritually powerful. Each small, ethical action compounds over time, shaping your character and preparing you to handle greater resources. God honors these habits because they reveal a heart aligned with His principles. It is not enough to wish for wealth or pray for abundance while ignoring the values that sustain it. Righteousness expressed through consistent habits demonstrates faithfulness, and faithfulness is what God rewards. Spiritual prosperity and financial prosperity are deeply connected. Habits like prayer, study, reflection, and service cultivate clarity, wisdom, and discernment. When you develop these habits, you make better decisions in all areas of life, including finances, relationships, and career opportunities. Money and material success follow naturally when your habits cultivate wisdom, discipline, and responsibility. Wealth becomes a byproduct of who you are becoming, rather than the primary goal of your desires. God rewards the person who focuses on righteous habits, because these habits ensure that the blessings received will be stewarded wisely and multiplied for greater impact. Another crucial aspect of righteous habits is generosity. Giving consistently, whether it is time, knowledge, or resources, plants seeds that attract divine favor. God multiplies what is sown in faith. When you develop a habit of giving, you align yourself with spiritual laws of reciprocity and abundance. This principle is evident throughout Scripture. Those who are faithful in giving are promised provision, blessing, and increase. Habits of generosity not only transform the lives of others, but also open doors for your own prosperity. God rewards the person whose heart and actions reflect care, service, and integrity. Righteous habits also build resilience. Life is filled with challenges, setbacks, and trials, but consistent, morally grounded actions strengthen your character and resolve. A person who acts faithfully, diligently, and ethically, even under pressure, develops the ability to withstand adversity. God rewards this steadfastness because it demonstrates trust, perseverance, and a commitment to His principles. Such habits lay a foundation for sustainable prosperity that is not easily shaken by circumstances. In conclusion, righteous habits create both spiritual and financial prosperity. God rewards actions, not wishes, and He blesses the person whose daily life reflects discipline, integrity, generosity, and faithfulness. Wealth and abundance follow naturally when they are the byproducts of character and righteous living. By cultivating consistent habits rooted in moral and spiritual principles, you position yourself to receive blessings that are lasting, meaningful, and aligned with God's will. Focus on becoming the kind of person who acts faithfully, serves generously, and walks with integrity. When you do, God multiplies your efforts, and prosperity, both spiritual and material, follows naturally. The seed of righteous habit, planted and nurtured with faith, is the seed that builds true wealth. Action with faith is the bridge between desire and reward. Many people make the mistake of thinking that wishing or praying alone will bring wealth, success, or prosperity. They hope for miracles to occur without taking deliberate, consistent steps toward their goals. Yet God does not reward idle desire. He rewards action that is guided by faith, diligence, and trust in His timing. Faith without works is incomplete. A desire or wish, no matter how fervent, is powerless unless it is paired with intentional action. The bridge between where you are and where you want to be is built by the daily steps you take, grounded in faith and purpose. Taking action with faith means understanding that your efforts matter, even when the results are not immediately visible. It requires showing up consistently, doing the work, and maintaining integrity in every task. God sees the diligence, persistence, and intentionality behind your actions. When your efforts are guided by faith that God is working behind the scenes to multiply your efforts and open doors, you position yourself to receive blessings that far exceed your initial desires. Action is the physical expression of faith, and faith makes your actions fruitful in ways that wishful thinking alone cannot. Many people wait for perfect conditions to begin. They pray for clarity, resources, or opportunity, but do not take any steps toward their goals until everything seems ideal. Yet God's principles are clear. You will never fully receive until you begin to act. Faith without action is like planting a seed and then leaving it in the packet, expecting it to grow on its own. The moment you take steps, no matter how small, no matter how imperfect, you are expressing faith, and God rewards that faithfulness with results. Every small effort builds momentum, strengthens your character, and aligns your life with divine timing. Action with faith also creates accountability. When you actively pursue your goals, you learn to manage resources wisely, develop discipline, and cultivate resilience. You begin to recognize opportunities and make better decisions because you are engaged in the process rather than waiting passively for miracles. God rewards those who demonstrate responsibility and readiness to receive abundance. By taking action in faith, you show that you are prepared to steward the blessings He has promised. Wishes without action demonstrate dependency and passivity, but action with faith demonstrates maturity, commitment, and trust. This principle also emphasizes the importance of consistency. Action is most effective when it is repeated daily, forming habits that build over time. Small steps, taken faithfully, eventually compound into significant results. God multiplies persistent effort, turning seemingly ordinary actions into extraordinary outcomes. Every task you complete, every habit you cultivate, and every effort you make in alignment with faith becomes a seed for growth. The more faithfully you act, the greater the harvest that God can provide. In conclusion, action with faith is the bridge between desire and reward. God does not bless wishes alone. He rewards consistent, intentional effort, performed with trust in His guidance and timing. Your daily habits, persistent work, and disciplined actions are expressions of faith that God can multiply. By taking steps toward your goals with integrity, diligence, and trust, you align yourself with divine principles that turn effort into blessing. Stop relying solely on wishing and start acting in faith today. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to the abundance God intends for you. Action with faith is the seed that connects your desires to the rewards that follow, and it is through this bridge that true wealth and prosperity are realized.